Hello everyone, welcome to Absolute Geography. Here we take your geography understanding from classroom to continents. In this video, we will be understanding contours and how to identify various landforms represented by them. What is a contour? Imagine I walk around a hill at a height of 100 meters and draw the path that I walk. Then I walk again around the same hill at 120 meters and draw another path. These paths never meet and go around the hill at the same height. These paths are called contour lines. Contours are imaginary lines joining places of the same height above mean sea level. They are shown in brown color on the topographical maps. Contours can never intersect or cross each other. If they do, it would mean that a single point has two different heights, which is impossible. Contours always form closed loops. If you see contours not closing on themselves, it is because the map you are having or you are studying is only an extract from a much larger map. The difference in height which each contour represents is called the contour interval. This interval remains constant throughout the map. Horizontal distance is the actual distance on the ground between 2 points on two contour lines. The spacing between the contours shows the type of slope of the land. If the contours are far apart, that means the height is changing gradually. Hence, the slope is gentle. And if the contours are close to each other, this means the height is changing rapidly. Therefore, the slope is said to be steep. Now, contours show height, but in the process, they also show the shape of the land. By observing how the contours are arranged, we can identify the landforms present in an area. When we see contours forming concentric circles and the height of the contours is maximum at the center and decreases outwards, we can easily identify the feature as a hill. Plateaus are similar to hills, but the main difference is that in hills the contours are circular, whereas in plateaus the contours are often irregular or show a wide empty space at the center, indicating a flat-topped surface. The innermost contour represents the highest height and height decreases outwards. Valley generally occurs between hills or high land. The contours of a valley form a V or U-shaped pattern. In a valley, the pointed end of the V always points towards higher land. The inner contours show lower height and the height increases outwards. The main conforming feature of a valley is a flowing river, which is generally present. In some cases, the valley may appear U-shaped or wider, but the same contour rule will be applied here. A line joining the high points like mountains or hills is called a ridge. Ridges may also show V or U-shaped contours, which often creates confusion with valleys. So to distinguish them, observe the center. In a ridge, the highest contour lies along the center, often forming small closed contours indicating peaks. In a valley, the center represents the lowest part. In a ridge, height decreases sideways on both sides. A spur is a projection of high land extending from a hill or a ridge, usually found between two valleys or gullies. The contours of a spur form a V-shaped pattern, but unlike a valley, the V is pointing downwards, that is towards the lower land. The shape of the V may be narrow or wide depending upon the steepness of the slope. A saddle is a low point between two hills or higher lands. The contours show two hills and are enclosed within the contours of lower heights, forming a shape similar to a horse's saddle, hence the name. Cliff is a high land with a sudden, steep drop, often found near a sea coast or a river. In a cliff, the contours come extremely close to each other and may appear to merge. However, it must be remembered that contours never intersect or cross each other. In the case of a cliff, they only appear to merge because they are very closely spaced, showing the steep drop in height. The Earth's surface does not only have highlands, it also has low-lying areas such as lakes, hollows, and craters. The contours of a depression are similar in shape to those of a hill, except that the innermost contour has the lowest height and the outermost contour has the highest. So basically, we can say it is reversing the heights of the hill while keeping the same shape. Depressions are often represented by hachures, which are short lines drawn towards the lower land to indicate the direction of a slope, although they are not compulsory for minor depressions such as a well or a hollow. So in this video, we understood how contours do much more than just show height. Once you understand these patterns, topographical maps stop looking confusing and start making sense. In next video, we will continue with drainage and settlement patterns.